yogis, I'm Jeanette from Yoga Wisdom, and I'm sharing with you today the alignment of the hips, but not the pelvis rotation, but the left and right dimension of the hips. And often in yoga we do steps back, one leg up, and you're constantly moving with one leg on the ground and one leg in the air. The strength from the pelvis that aligns or holds the hips in place comes from the inner strength line here. And so a feeling of what Uddiyana Bandha would do it. So practicing Uddiyana Bandha daily, probably one of the best things you can do for everything, health, energy. So let's do Uddiyana Bandha. I think we've done it many times on video. I find it extremely important, extremely awesome. People have different hand positions on the thighs. Find where it works for you. And what I love about it, it really helps to release tension of the back. If the tummy doesn't want to move or the hips are feel tight, it's most likely tightness coming from here. And then this also tightens up and everything's tight. So yeah, for mobility, Uddiyana Bandha. Place the hands onto the thighs. You can be higher, you can be straight. I like the inner rotation. Then I bring the hips up, lift the tummy, and let the lower back relax. You lean into your feet, lean on your hands, relax the neck. Take a deep breath in. Empty the lungs. Take 3 big breaths out. More out. Hold it out. Navel pulls in and up. It's like you're taking a false inhalation. You want to breathe in, but you don't. Hold the tummy right up for as long as you can hold the breath. In the beginning, it doesn't hold long. Then you relax the belly and you breathe in. You could either stay down and repeat it or come up in between. Let's go another one. Deep breath in. And relax. Lift the belly. And think of releasing the lower back. Navel in and up. Release the belly. Breathe in when you need to. Okay. So that will help to connect you to the muscles, the inner strength of both hips. Now, one hip, you could have a weakness on one side and then a tightness on the other side, which is really skew the hips out like that. And what I've generally found is yoga is quite amazing. When you bring your consciousness to a place, the change is already there. The muscles really are already active and willing, but the neural pathways may be what's missing. So the stronger the mind, or the more clear the mind can focus and delete the thoughts of doubt, stopping you of allowing that natural pathway to open is what you want to stop, not the actual thought or the process of connection. So if the glutes are tight, you might find, especially on one side, then you might find one hip going up. And if the inner thigh is not strong, then the one hip will just want to drop. And then that might cause a tightness in that hip. We start by a brick. Just got this new ball, which I'm enjoying. Squeeze it between. You could do it without anything between your legs, and just imagine you're on ice skates and you hug and you pull the legs inwards. You hug, you feel the grip from the lower bum. You'll feel the upper bum is long and reasonably relaxed. It's not tightening, pulling too tight. The bottom glutes are really getting a hug. The thighs are hugging. You'll feel the muscles, lifting, and the top of your body should be quite relaxed in that. And when I need to bend in the hips, they should be also, it should be gripping in the hips. It should be gripping a little bit above the hips so that these can bend quite easily. So the lift is here, the hip bones up here, and strength into the center line. So where in your yoga does it really play it will prevent us from balancing, first of all, on one leg. So let's say I take a tree balance and I have a weakness in the thigh, I might drop and I'll find that this leg doesn't want to grip. So before I go, lift the tummy, imagine I've got the brick or the ball, hug. Now I've got the stability, lengthen through that side that you're going to stand on, really lengthen, push down through the big toe, take hold, and then there I've got the strength lifting up, hips are square, not dropping or lifting. So I would say the best medicine, the best thought would be down into the ground, from down into the ground, lifting up through the navel, through the body, rooting down and engaging the leg. And that might be a different word, but yeah, just check that it's not falling outwards, you lifting, lengthening, aligning straight. Okay. Then it comes to lunges, which are all kind of a lead up to a half a handstand. And sometimes when you do the lunge, and I let the hip skew, I'm not getting the actual stretch I want. I might be even contracting a little bit too much in the hip flexor, tightening it more. And I want to get the hip square, the tummy lifted, hugged in, so that I can work on I can work on the muscles that are really needing it in the hip flexor in the front. Yeah, you'll lose the hip flexor on that side if you let the hip drop. So we square, pull the hip back, take it to the side. And so in these twists, I want to make sure that this knee doesn't fall in or this back leg doesn't collapse. So especially when we start getting to twists, we do tend to just let it go, to get the stretch, to do what the teacher is saying we should be getting into. Rather, stay lifted, do gentle just as you can, feel it, keep working, strong down into the straight leg, and without moving the hips, we should be able to get a twist. So it gets even deeper into the twisting Paschimottanasana. I just keep working, lifting the left side, the back side, pulling the front side back, and moving as best I can. Yes, there's a bit of but not too much, letting it go. Okay. I've got a nice little exercise for that. Call it the Karate Kid. Start here, and we'll work on balance and the stabilization from those muscles. Lift the first leg up. So there already I'm feeling softening into the tummy. Take the arms back. Keep stable on this leg so I don't want to drop it that way. Keep lifting, keep it square. Check that the knees are over the second toe. The hips are both equal. Now stretch back. Both legs can stay bent and quite relaxed. And roll it up, back forward. And you'll feel a balancing happening on the bottom leg between the big toe and the little toe. And keep working on strengthening up on the inner side of the standing leg. And if you like, join me for the second side, and we do 3. Before I go, I stabilize. I love working with bent legs. Helps me to get the inner thigh and the outer thigh squeezing and pressing and working. Feel it, big toe, little toe. Lift the belly, soften the shoulders, squaring the hips. And lifting on the inside of the standing leg. Okay, so this is where it really gets frustrating for me, was in the 3-legged down dog, or the leg raised in the down dog, and in the twisting lunges, where so I don't, or even Virabhadrasana. So I don't force myself to have straight hips. I allow the hip to open, but I watch for dropping in the front leg. Lifting up in the tummy, squaring, and then trying to hug the 2 legs like I've got a ball or a brick between the two legs, and I hug them in, pulling my legs to the center line, which will in time get the right muscles to engage back to the front. And so, down facing dog with the leg up. This is very common to, so you think, well, why? You're getting a nice stretch if you just let the hip open. But finally, if you start working towards handstand, you don't want the shoulder skew, you don't want the drop of the ribcage, you don't want the drop of the pelvis. It is better to keep it aligned and to train these muscles to stay there. And I'll show you now why. When we go into the handstand, when it skews, the back drops and we struggle. Place the hands and in down dog. So what I watch for, I try to keep the arms, shoulders the same. Also, a nice little test playing around is when I lift the leg, is this leg completely relaxed? Another secret to aligning the hips is don't tighten the muscles, don't tense, because that's when they also go askew, and that might eventually just become a habit and cause postural problems. Relax the hip, so it's nice and swingy and loose, so that when I go up, I'm strong in the standing leg, square in the shoulders, and I lift, keeping the knee facing down. I don't have to, yes, there's another pose that you open, but we keep square. Then when we open, we also don't open into that position. We're still lengthening and lifting. So it doesn't collapse. You keep strong on the standing leg. So my focus often goes directly to my standing leg on the floor. So when this becomes a bigger problem is when you're going into handstands and everything starts to skew. Your handstands really come from a lift of the hip bones coming up into the sky, letting the hips take you over onto the shoulders. So if we go skew, you might find something like, it just doesn't get the second hip up. So we're going to hug into the arms, bundles under the armpits, hug into the pelvis, but also feel that I'm hugging in the right place. I'm still free in the hips, still free in the legs, and when I go, I'm staying lifted in the tummy. That will take me equally up into the handstand, both hips coming up into the handstand. Okay. And that just stabilizes so nicely. I think that's enough for today. Good, hope you enjoyed, and please comment and question, and I can always you can guide me on to the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste. Peace be.